Welcome back, and joining us on the show now is Sabyasachi Ray. He's Executive Director at the Gems and Jewellery Export Promotion Council. Mr. Ray, hi, thank you so much for joining in. First of all, on the FTA that has happened with the UK, what does it really mean for the Indian jewellery markets?
Manisha, and one thing, of course, as you have seen that recently this India-UK deal has been signed. I will just tell you the volume of the business between India and UK. So we import $2.6 billion of, let's say, gold, silver, platinum, and we export around 941 million, around $1 billion of jewelry and the molten silver and etc. and gemstone and diamonds, finished diamonds. So if you look at this sector, we import the raw materials and we export the finished goods. So that way, this FTA will go a long way into seeing that we get a very good foothold into the UK market. Now, if you look at the duty part of it, of course, it ranges from 2 to 4%. I know a lot of people think that only 2%, how will it help? But in jewelry, 2% is huge, So that way, it will have a price advantage. And UK is a very good jewelry market. They import some $3 billion worth of jewelry. I'm talking only about jewelry. Of that, we are only exporting some 400 million worth of jewelry. So we are around 15%. So what we are looking at is that at least with this FTA, with signing of the FTA, it will take some time to implement. After that, within a year, I think we are looking at some $1 billion. So at least doubling this exports is whatever we are looking. And of course, the trade also can double if we have not seen the fine print. If there are some advantages given to the imports of silver and etc., because we primarily import silver from there, then the trade will also improve. And if that is there, then the trade will also double. So that is around $7 billion. So we have everything to gain with this FTA. That much I can tell you.
Mr. Ray, if we look at the history of FTAs and the one that happened with UAE as well, we did see a lot of growth coming in. Would you say that this really is an era of bilateral trades, FTAs, and that is what the industry will thrive on?
See, one of the things, Manisha, what our minister also keeps on telling, and you also keep on, covering that, is that now the FTAs, whatever is happening, when you look at UAE, when you look at Australia, or you look at us, this UK, so and our goods, we are looking at consuming markets. These are the countries where you can buy jewelry, a lot of jewelry buying culture is there, a lot of jewelry demand is there. So that way, if you look at our sector, the FTAs, what is happening now, of course, is very, very beneficial for our sector. And of course, we are looking at future FTAs like EU or, in that sense, the USA BTA. If all these things take place, we have a very, very rosy time ahead.
Well, EU is something that we'll keep for later on, but the US FTAs, I do understand that the GJEPC has made a lot of representations into it. Is there anything that you are in sense of conversations or updates that you're hearing from that one?
Yes, Manisha, in your channel only we have explained your viewers that in jewelry, you do not talk about percentage. Like today, every day you are, covering this commodity gold. So if you look at the gold, if 1%, yesterday only we are calculating 1% relief in import duty of gold means around, if it is 100 tons, it is 1,500 crores or 1,000 crores. And if it's 200 tons, 2,000 crores. So this percentage, I am just breaking it down for your viewer that how much it matters, percentage. So if in US, the percentage of 10% or 26%, whatever is being talked about in the reciprocal tariffs, this will be a huge blow to the industry if it remains like this. So we are very hopeful that BTA will give us some leverage there. And as we have always argued, and we are arguing with our government, and I understand they have also argued with the US government that diamonds are raw material for the US jewelry manufacturing industry also. So if they want their manufacturing to grow, that is one segment they should not tax. And we are very, very hopeful that, of course, at least the diamond gemstones and lab-grown diamonds, all these, the finished cut and polished, these stones will not attract any duty. We are also working on jewelry. We have given the government the threshold that anything more than 10% import duty, now it is 6%, will be very, very harmful for the segment, because the jewelry exports also is growing very, very robustly. If you have seen now, we are constituting around 20 to 25% of total jewelry imports in US. So that way, we are looking very hopefully because what we understand that everybody, including their treasury secretary is telling that within a month with India they'll be signing, and if it
Yes.
signs and if our sector is within that, and if whatever we have called to the government, if it happens, oh, it's a at least after this UK there's a bonanza for us.
All right. I also want to talk to you about the month of April, where we've seen stronger numbers come in sense of exports, the diamond jewelry exports, that is. Do you see it sustaining, and how would you analyze those numbers? What countries, and how has the month of April been? Because the first quarter was not so great, but the second quarter at least has started well.
Yes, as we have told you that, we were recovering very well in the second quarter. Then this US tariff came. And you have seen, I think, again, you have only reported, and we have also, informed you that the first 4 days of April, there is huge exports have happened to US because of this tariff thing. And we understand that the type of exports also happened. So in the April, you should divide into 1 to 4th April and then rest of April.
Okay.
So that way, of course, April has shown good numbers, but what we understand is that these numbers are due to this US tariff. But if something does not happen, May we are not very very hopeful, because US nothing is moving now. Nobody is importing, not only India, nowhere in the world, because in the US also the retailers and jewelers are waiting and watching that where ultimately this tariff will land, because US is negotiating with so many countries. So they are waiting because they do not want to put in their money and then they will not get back those money. So whatever they've imported, I do not think that US a lot of imports are now happening. So May will not be good if a decision will not come from US. So that much I can tell you, that if the decision is not there, May will not be good.
Oh.
Okay, all right, Manisha. Thanks very much for joining in and taking us through that conversation. Well, with that, it's also a wrap on Halftime Report. Business Lunch will take all the action ahead.